Yo, today we talking about women are tired of ugly niggas approaching them. This should be an interesting topic. To be honest with you, I've always stated that I think a lot of women are delusional, and I feel like social media has influenced a lot of people, not even just women, men as well, to raise their expectations for a lifestyle or an attractiveness that is unrealistic to obtain within the modern day. The average person cannot obtain that. But they see these lifestyles of celebrities or people that they tend to look up to and want to mimic that. But let's go ahead and get into the video.
Pisses me off more than when a man that looks like the shit on the bottom of my shoe is like, hey, can I take you out? Now, I'm not gonna say I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I know I ain't ugly.
And this is one of the reasons why women believe that men do not approach them anymore. Why men do not shoot their shot and ask women on dates anymore. You know you can reject a man without being rude, disrespectful, and harmful to somebody else's heart.
That's what I've always said, man. For me personally, it would be nice. It would be nice if we could swap. We could swap. Like men could be women for, let's give it a decent amount of time. Men could be women for 2 months. Women could be men for 2 months. And just so you can understand the other sex's point of view and understand what that sex has to go through. Because I feel like it's always going to be one-sided. They're always going to have their experiences. We, as men, we always going to have our experiences. And it's kind of hard, and it's very rare to find someone who can kind of, or do their best to understand it. Obviously, they won't ever fully understand it, but try their best to understand it. I mean, coming from a man's perspective, haven't been rejected a lot in my life, but I also don't do a bunch of approaching because dating has just been a hot mess for years now. So I just kind of just stay to myself and don't even waste my time. But to be honest with you, something like that is like, and you wonder why men don't want to approach, because it's like we already have to be vulnerable enough to go out of our way to go up to a woman that sometimes for certain niggas we know is out of our league, or we know is nerve-wracking because I find her very attractive, and you may feel like she is in your league, but to get disrespected like that in your face, or they disrespect you around a group of friends and they laughing at you or they clowning you and you just gotta walk away. Some niggas, I don't never get into the whole back and forth with females. That's just personally not me. But to have to walk away and kind of keep your head up it's tough. It kind of just throws you off. Like for me personally, like when I shoot my shot out, when I shoot my shot at a girl and we, let's say out, or we at a nightclub or some type of event, and just a simple no or being ignored, I ain't gonna lie, I'm the type of nigga that kind of throw me all the way off for the entire night. Which by throw off, it's like I'm not gonna let that ruin my night, but I'm probably not gonna be shooting my shot at anybody else for the night unless I see somebody, choosing. Now, if she choosing, maybe I'll step towards it because it's like, okay, this person actually feeling me. But if I go up to a girl and it's that's how it is with a no, or she kind of just walk away or ignore me or pretend like I'm not there, that's like, okay, cool. That's a sign that I need to leave this alone for the night and just focus on enjoying my time with the guys or myself, or if I went solo dolo. But yeah, man, I wish women could feel that feeling of rejection, because obviously most women, especially attractive women who think they are 8 and above, they ain't never shot their shot in their life, and they have too much pride and they feel like, oh, I don't need to shoot a shot. But those be the same women that ain't got nothing to offer. My experience, every time I've hung out with, went on a date with, or tried or talked with, like we was talking, maybe working on the stage of getting to dating an attractive woman to where I would put them as a 8 or above, they have no substance. From my experience, I can only speak on my experience. Majority of them have no substance because their looks carry them through life. And they like to talk about how they could have got a ring from this dude, or how this nigga was doing that, how this nigga was doing that. But guess what? Ain't nobody locked in with you. Ain't nobody locked in with you. And those be the same girls who get cheated on, who the same girls who get done dirty by multiple niggas, and they still keep chasing the same type of niggas. And then expect a different result. This shit is funny to me. It kind of throws me off because I'm such a logical person. But I try and keep the logic out of it when you trying to figure out why women move the way they move, because you're just gonna hurt your head.
You can sit there and tell someone respectfully, I'm not interested, but instead, you will do everything in your power to make that person feel as if they are insignificant. Just because somebody isn't attractive to you doesn't mean that they're not worthy of going after somebody. Although I don't believe this applies to all women, but there's women out there that speak on hating men, that men should leave them alone, that they should choose the bear over the man. So when a man chills out and he says, I don't want to deal with it anymore, y'all really be sitting over there wondering why men do not reach out to y'all. Men have to be vulnerable, men have to perform, men have to impress, and men have to chase/pursue just to see if a woman wants to give him an opportunity in the first place. And see, this is the thing. It's not that women don't want to be approached, it's that they want to be approached by the men that they want.
Or he continues that on his last point. Men have to do that, and that's what blows me. Because as I get older, you start thinking more and more about the situation. Men literally have to do damn near everything leading up to starting this shit off. They gotta be the one to come up to you first. They gotta usually be the one that leads the conversation. They gotta be the one that plans the date. They gotta be the one that pays for the date. And then most of the time they're continuing to pay for the date. They're literally putting, I would say, they're putting so much on the table, or they're putting, let's say, 50% on the table. And women, all they have to do is be able to decently hold a conversation, show the nigga that you care, and then show up to dates. Literally, I mean, obviously, if you want to go a little bit of an extra mile as a woman, a good woman, you'll pay for some dates on occasion. But if you compare that to what the man has to do, I mean, we are literally vulnerable. We're going in there putting damn near, I'm not going to sit there and say everything on the line, but we're putting a decent amount on the line. And to go out there and just, like some niggas did so dirty. Well, a couple videos back, that dude spent $200 on his first date with a girl, and she just up and ghosted him. God, that shit's tough, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna stand on that. I wish that we could switch, so you can just understand how it feels to just get done so fucking dirty, to use somebody like that, to have them take you on a date, for you to just basically get a free experience, a free meal, which I've heard some females say. And it's like, fuck, you ain't got no heart. Like, damn, just for attention? You just let niggas take you out just for attention. And they like to play that stupid ass mind game. No, I'm trying to weed them out. Get out of it. Through conversation, through looks, I will give it to you. Some people you may have to see in person, but a lot of women will already deduce, is this a man I would actually see in the future or be with in the future? Is this a man I would have sex with? Or is this a man I would just instantly put in the friend zone? Or this a nigga I just wouldn't pay attention to at all? You have already deduced that before you even get that nigga a shot to go on the date. And then the date either solidifies that, or the date, like, oh, damn, I'm changing my mind on this. So for women to kind of move the way that they move, women have become, I've noticed, men too, the feminist movement has made women more selfish, and that independence has come with selfishness because they feel like they can do it all by themselves. And then I feel like men were already moving in that direction. They were already doing what they wanted to do because they've been holding down the shit for so long that they felt like they had that power, that hierarchy, where they didn't have to submit. So if they wanted to go out and cheat, leave me alone. You're not doing anything but taking care of the children and keeping the house clean. I'm paying all the bills. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. If I want to go relieve stress, you shouldn't have to worry about it, right? That's how they looked at it. But now that the feminist movement has taken place and women are doing a lot better than they are and have opportunities in places that they never would have had in the past, they're turning more masculine. So they're becoming more like men, and women are moving like men. Now women want all the options. Now women want to go out and cheat. And now women want to sleep with multiple niggas and think that, oh, but niggas do it. You see what I'm saying? You see how things are slowly changing, and it's fucking up the dating scene. And the dating scene is getting worse. And it saddens me because I wish I was born earlier so I could have had already secured my partner and kind of just laughed at this horrific dating scene. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
But it doesn't work like that. And if you do want the man you want 100% of the time, then you're going to have to shoot your shot at the men that you want. But you're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that.
Because what if the man that you like doesn't like you back?
They can't take rejection.
You'll hear women say, oh, where's the guy who sets reservations, gets flowers, and picks me up on time? But there's plenty of men that would do that. But since you don't like them, you don't give them a chance.
Those aren't the guys
it's the fact
like.
that you want the man that doesn't like you, or the man that you like to do that, but he doesn't. So since he doesn't do it, you say, oh man, men are not romantic. Men don't show love. Men don't do this. No, it's the fact that the men that you want are not willing to do it. But the men that are willing to do it, you won't even give them a chance. So to my ladies, if you do want a man to approach you, be approachable, be kind, whether you like the man or you don't like him and you reject him, that's cool. But you don't have to be disrespectful. Give yourself an opportunity for the right man to come into your life and treat you right instead of giving yourself to people who are going to take you for granted.
Facts. He's speaking facts. And if y'all really stop and think about it, realistically, let's stop and think about this. List off, I guess, the generic things that most women look for in a man. I'm going to speak for black women in this instance because I really don't talk to other races besides them. Most of them list off, I want them dark skin, light skin. Cool. Dark skin, light skin. All right, cool. Whatever. Let's take the skin color out of it. But yeah, sure. Let's put that in there. I want them over 6 feet. I want them to be making good money. Most of the time, they want them making six figures or whatever. They want them to have their own car. They usually want them to have their own place or house, and usually have something going for themselves as well. No kids. No kids is another thing. A lot of them tend to want them to have a good relationship with family, and obviously emotionally healed. I mean, we can list it. We can just go down the whole list. But 6 feet, six figures. Some of them want a big, you know, a big meat. They like to talk about that too. A car and a place. Just the 6 foot and the fact that they six figures. I guess the realization I'm trying to make is the majority of women are fighting for literally probably the 2-3% of men. The average black male makes less than $40,000 a year, but social media has psychologically fucked people up, psychologically fucked women up to expect a man that has all those traits that they're looking for. And basically, you know, it's like, fuck everything else, right? But they don't realize that they're all literally fighting for the 1 or 2% of, especially if they're looking for a black males out there. I mean, but logically it doesn't make sense, right? But we have to understand these are women. Women don't think logically, they think emotionally. And social media has a heavy influence of why they think the way that they think and why they go after the niggas that they go after. I personally, like I said, I don't have a problem with it. You do what you want to do. I'm just spitting facts. It's like, oh, okay, we all fighting for the same nigga, but we also on the internet complaining about how, only other ugly niggas shoot their shot, or why can't I find the man that I'm looking for, the man of my dreams? Guess what? That's 2% of niggas. You're going to have a very hard time finding that nigga. I'm just hitting you with the facts. You're going to have a very hard time finding that nigga. So maybe you should expand your thought process. Maybe, I don't even call it lower your expectations, but maybe revise your expectations, or you're going to continue to be lonely. And a lot of women going to hit you with that. I'm okay being lonely. They're not. A lot of women want to hit you with that, and it's not factual. I don't believe that shit at all. You just want to be stubborn, and your stubbornness leads you to loneliness, and then you become bitter, and you complain to every woman in your life about how you could have had this, how you could have had that, but, you know, it didn't work out with that nigga. and that nigga ended up being happy and got a family, and you still bitter and lonely sitting on the couch watching your Netflix and your fucking drama shows, The Real Housewives. Goofy.
An epidemic girl is that she's actually quite beautiful.
I'm gonna have to do a longer video on this one. This is the chopped man epidemic girl. If you do not understand this diagram yet, you're not gonna get a better example. All of the women that you can find complaining about the chopped men are in this range. And they don't like the men in their own range. They call them chopped, which means ugly. And they go after these men who will use them for a short time and not commit. And then these women cannot get these men
so
to commit.
factual.
That's how society breaks down. These women get their hearts broken over and over by trying for men who will never actually like them. These women can't prevent these men from cheating with them because it's just extra women. And then these men get nothing at all and everyone's miserable. That's how society dies.
Bro, you can't. Oh my God, bro. I wish I was a poppin' YouTuber. I would love to get that diagram out to millions of people. And you know, the funny thing is, women will still be delusional about that diagram. That's not true. That's not true. That's really what it is. That is funny. The ones in the mid, bro, the mid-ass females be calling the niggas in their category or in their range ugly and want to go for the best of the best. Social media plays a role in that. Social media definitely plays a big role in that because everybody wants to shoot for that dream guy, the one they can show off. And same for niggas. They want to shoot for the dream girl, one that they can show off to their niggas, but they niggas not hitting you with that. I'm happy if you're happy. Oof, that's nobody wants to hear that. But anyway, but you shoot for you don't even get the 8s through the 10s. You don't get those. You don't get them. You think you get them. You happy. You fall in love because you like, damn, I finally got what I've been looking for. But they playing you the whole time and cheating on you. And that's the same with niggas too. Niggas who 5, 6s shooting for 8, 9, 10s. And those be the girls with all the options. Those be the girls that ain't actually paying you no attention. They're using you for your resources. And then at the end of it, you get they playing with you and you get categorized as a simp because you did all of this for this person. That person ain't do a damn, but they ain't give a damn thing to you or do a damn thing for you. I feel like a lot of men fell in that category at one point in their life. I'm sad to say it was me as well, but I've grown from that situation. And I feel like it's a good thing if you experience it, if you grow from it. Don't be a simp and then continue to be a simp. You're just going out sad from there.
It's hard to argue with Homath. I have to tell you,
He's so good at it.
He's good at it. He's good at it, and
he
actually
just summed up the downfall of society
I mean,
with
look,
the cartoon.
I think if you look at dating app data, it's the same thing. It's a very small pool of guys getting a massive amount of attention from women on a very broad spectrum of attractiveness, and it's a group of women getting much more attention from men that they are largely ignoring. There was another video that was out there. It was viral in the last couple of weeks where a woman was saying, you know, I don't want to be with a guy who's like super obsessed with looks maxing and super into his looks.
Yeah.
And then in the same interview, she was like, well, I want a guy who like really takes care of himself and is good looking, but I don't want him to be the kind of guy that like acts that way. And
you see what I'm saying? That's a great example. Women just be talking out of their ass. They just be, this is why that's why majority of the times I don't believe what a woman says, especially if I'm trying to get to know this woman or I'm trying to take this woman seriously, talking stage, whatever the case may be, pursuing them romantically. I don't believe this. This is a waste of time. I've learned that the hard way. All that damn yapping, waste of time. Women will yap all day. Pay attention to their actions. I will not harp on this enough. Pay men out there, stop wasting your time. Pay attention to the woman's actions. Your body, your soul, everything that they're doing will tell you exactly what you need to know and how to move. So you don't waste your time when you don't waste your resources. Some women are really good. I will say that. Some women are really good at finessing actions, but eventually you can uphold that fakeness for so long. If they uphold that fakeness for 6 months to a year, you have a professional right there, and you definitely need to leave that person alone. That's scary finessing tactics. But most people, if they're upholding a lie or living a fake life or trying to pretend to be something that they're not, that usually falls apart within the first 2 to 3 months because they know that's not them and they're trying to be something that they're not. So guys, lock in. Women, same thing. Niggas play in your face, but they can only do that for so long, or they'll pretend to be this nice guy or this genuine guy and do all this extra shit. Get to the buns, you looking sick, wondering why is this guy not gonna leave me back? Blah 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 blah. You gave up the pom pom too early, shawty.
That's sort of like a guy saying, like, I want a woman who looks absolutely incredible, but is not obsessed with her looks and doesn't like spend a lot of time on her makeup and on her. Okay. Well, those are two different things. Like if you want to be with a guy who's got an 8-pack, be prepared to be with a guy who's like on a pretty strict diet and goes to the gym a lot. Like that's how it works. So if you want to be with a guy who's like super lax about what he eats and doesn't spend a lot of time in the gym, be prepared for a guy who's got a little bit of a belly. That's how that's going to work. Like, but if you want to be with a guy who's rich, be prepared to be with a guy who's busy, because that's how that works. If you're like, oh, I want to be rich, but I also want him to have lots of free time, well, you're then probably, because unless he's got inherited wealth, that's not likely to happen. So home math, it's math. It's hard to argue with math. And I don't think, I mean, listen, you don't have to like what he has to say, but in that video, where's he wrong? Like point out where he's wrong, present the counter argument. I haven't heard one.
It's sad. Women will still try and find out or pick and choose where he was wrong in that video. The biggest thing I've noticed as my time growing up and dealing with women struggle with accountability. They struggle with it. It's something that it's very difficult for them to comprehend. So I understand what he's saying, but women will still look at that video and be like, no, that's not true. No, you're only talking about a small category of women. I'm telling you, you wonder why they single. But anywho.
And they do get approached, but they get approached by guys who they don't deem attractive. And to them, that's offensive. So if a girl is getting approached, say in a day, she get approached by 4 different dudes, and 3 of those guys are very unattractive to her, she gonna get offensive or offended by that. And she's gonna start looking at herself like, damn, like, what do I look like if these guys who I'm not attracted to are hitting on me? Because women get hit on every day. Like, it might not be by the guy that she deems like super attractive, but they'll get hit on by guys that, you know, they don't find attractive, and that happens every day. Whereas like with guys, a guy might get a compliment by someone who's not attractive. It could be like an older woman or something like that. It could be somebody they're not attracted to, and they'll get that compliment, and that compliment will carry them through the whole day, and they'll just be feeling like they're on cloud 9. Like, damn, like this person said I had a nice smile, I had a nice body, something. That'll make that dude's day entirely better. Whereas if a unattractive dude hit on a girl, she can be like, damn, like what do I look like for this very unattractive guy to be hitting on me?
And I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier, and this is why I feel like gender roles should be swapped for a couple months, just so we can both understand each other's point of view. Because like he said, a nigga can get a compliment and that shit can carry him through the whole day. A nigga can also get rejected and that can throw him off the whole day, depending on if that nigga is used to shooting his shot or getting shots up, or if he not used to getting many shots up. And once that rejection hit, he done for the day. I'm definitely that nigga where, yeah, I get a couple shots up, but once that rejection hit, especially if it's a one that I feel was disrespectful, especially those ones where they just straight up ignore you, I definitely go back in my shell and just was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't worried about it. But also, you know, but it's also good as a man to get a compliment from a woman, even if it's an older woman, like older woman by like in the grandma stage, or you get older women like 35, but she out of your league, younger women, or women around your same age, whatever the situation is, it is nice as a man to receive a compliment, because it's like, damn, we don't get many of these, so you kind of cherish them. But like he said, especially attractive women get compliments all the time. Me personally, I'm very prideful. I'm not complimenting you. With attractive women, I ain't gonna lie to you, most of the time I don't even waste my time approaching them, because what dating has turned into, it's like your ego is already getting fed online, your ego is getting fed in person, Wherever you go, your ego's probably getting fed. At work, your ego's getting fed. And niggas are just thirsty. I'm just not that nigga. I feel like I'm in a different spectrum of niggas where it's like, I just got too much to focus on to where I'm gonna be chasing you or doing the most. So I'm just never gonna be that guy that kind of goes out of my way to make sure I compliment a woman. If, like I said, if she choosing or I'm feeling the slight chemistry, yeah, I'll walk up, I'll chat with you, but I'll throw one compliment in there. I'm never that nigga that's gonna overly compliment, because it's like, especially with a certain type of woman, you already get a bunch of those. I'm not finna feed your head. Nah. That's just not me. But just to end this video off, I've been doing a lot of yapping because I think this topic is pretty funny, in my opinion. Shit, definitely funny. But yeah, just to end it off, I feel like social media has definitely fucked up the game, man. And I've always stated, women are delusional. You're fighting for the 2% of men that just can't be obtained. Or if you finally do attain them, I'm not gonna speak for all women, some women, especially the women in the industry, those are some of the 2% of the men in that category. You finally do get them, you think you get them, but they just use you to get some punana, and then you get on, and then they don't pay attention to you no more. And then you get on social media bragging about, oh my God, so-and-so, I got so-and-so, or I was with so-and-so, and you taking pictures with so-and-so. So-and-so don't even claim you, goofy, but you walk around bragging how so-and-so was in your guts. Oh my God, bro, you can't make this shit up. Women brag about niggas with status and money being in their guts. I mean, they're not bragging about how they got a ring. They ain't bragging about how they did this and that for them, how they locked in with them. No, they're bragging about how they was in their guts. And it's like, wow, this is what it is nowadays. That's it. You feel good because that nigga was in your guts, and you can go brag to your homegirls about it. And the sad part about it, women with no brains will sit there and be like, damn, she snapped. If she can get if she can get a celebrity nigga, I can too. Well, I'm telling you, there's some women that I know, I'm not gonna say in my circle, there's some women that I know that will literally sit there and talk about that it's not that difficult to get these high status men. Yeah, because men are thirsty, regardless if they got money and status or not. Niggas is going. So just because you think they got status don't mean they not finna get in your inbox if you look good enough. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it right there because I could yap on this subject forever. If y'all fuck with the video, please drop a like. Other than that, take it easy.